Hello everyone, in this video I'll be solving Cambridge A-Level Information Technology Paper 4 Practical for November 2022. You have been supplied with the following source files. I have the files here. Create a folder called examination and you must save all the work in this folder and copy the files into this folder. So create a new folder called examination. And copy all the files to this folder. Do not delete these files. Open the .csv files to inspect the contents. This is task 1, which is the spreadsheet task. So let's open all the CSV files, students, and test 102 student responses. Student.csv contains details of students in classes FE1 to FE5. Students took a multiple choice exam where they have selected single answer. So they have selected options for each question. The correct answers for the test are provided in testanswers.rtf file. So testanswers.rtf file, let's open that. So these are the correct answers for each test. The file test 102 student responses contains the students' responses to test 102. So this file has all the student responses for the test 102. Use a spreadsheet to record the mark for each student for every student who took test 102 to calculate their total mark for the sheet. So here the students have given their responses. We need to calculate their score. So if they have given one correct answer, we have to give a score of 1, otherwise no score. So in order to do that, I'll create a new spreadsheet. And I'll rename the sheet as 102. So these are the student details. The student details are given in this file and the responses given by the students are given in this file. So these are the responses from question 1 to question 25 given by each student. And here you can find in test 102 file, in this test answers file, you can find the correct answers to each question. I'll just sort the student ID in order. I have sorted the student ID in students file as well as in test 102 file. So let me copy the details here. From the student response, I'll copy this. And I have pasted it here. Now we don't want the responses. We need to show the score here. So I'll just remove all this response. On another sheet, I'll copy the responses. Once more. So you can rename this sheet as student response. Now create another sheet. Copy the correct answers from this file. I have copied this. On the new sheet, I'll just paste it here. We don't need the data for test 101, 103 and 104. Let's delete that. I will paste it in. I'll paste the data in a horizontal way for easier formula calculation. So I'll just paste as transpose here. Let's delete this. Now let's rename this sheet as test answers. So this is the sheet in which we are going to calculate the score. These are the responses given by the student and this is the correct response. So we need to make sure we give a score of 1 if the answer given by the student, that is this cell, is equal to the correct answer which is in this cell. So for question 1, this is the correct answer. If this is the same for the student, then we have to give a score of 1, otherwise no score or 0 score you can give. So in order to do that, I am using an if formula. Equals if student response, this is the student response, is equal to the test answer, this is the correct answer. If this is equal to this one, I'll give a score of 1, otherwise 0. So you can see this is the formula. If the cell B2 in student response equal to the cell B2 in test answers, that means if this answer is the same as this one, I have given a score of 1, otherwise it is 0. So now we need to replicate this formula for each question and for each student. So if you look at the formula, you can see that student response, the cell is B2. This will be, when you replicate it horizontally, it will change to C2, D2 like that. And when you replicate it vertically, it will change to B3, B4 like that. So we don't have to give any absolute referencing for this cell. Now when you are replicating this cell horizontally, when you are replicating it horizontally, it will change from B2, then it should change to C2, D2 like that. But when you are replicating it vertically, this will not change. This will be the same always. It will be B2 only and C2. The row will not change. The row must be fixed. That means here the row has to be made fixed, but the column will change. So we need to make absolute referencing for the row in this cell. So I will add a $sign for that. So I have added a $sign for the row. So there is no absolute referencing for this one because it will be replicated horizontally and vertically and it will not affect the cells. But here, since there is only one row in test answers file, we have to make the row fixed. So let's replicate it horizontally and then we can replicate it vertically. So we have got the scores of all students for all questions. Now let's find the total score. So add a column called score and enter the formula there. So we need to just add all this. So I have used a sum formula. So we got the score here. So this student has answered all the questions correct. Now let's replicate it. So these are the scores of each student. The total score for each student is calculated now. So this is task 1. We have to save this work as test 102 followed by your center number and candidate number. as a spreadsheet. So let's save this file, save as, inside your folder, inside your examination folder. The file name is test102 followed by your center number and candidate number, and save this file. Create a database with the same name as the spreadsheet. Use this database to present the class results when a user enters the name of a class. So we need to create a database. We'll be using the student file and the file which we created now with the score to create the database. After creating the database, we need to create a form like this, which will show student ID, given name, surname, class, as well as the questions and marks. So we need to combine these two files, or we need to create the relationship between these two files to create the database. So I will open a new database. Save it inside your folder, examination folder. The name must be same as the spreadsheet file. So test102 followed by your center number and candidate number. Create. So we'll be using the sheet test102 when you import this data into the database. Let's close this, save everything and close. Now let's import the data. Go to external data, new data source from file. First let's import the student file. So go to text file. So the student file is here, open. Next, first row contains field names. We'll choose the primary key as student ID. Next, we need to import the score file. For that, from file, we need to use as an Excel file because we have saved it as an Excel file. This is the file, open. So we need to select which sheet. It is test102. Click next. First row contains field names. The primary key is student ID. Click next and then finish. So we got the files here. Now let's create a relationship between the two files. Go to database tools, relationships, add both files. So we can create a one-to-one relationship between these two tables using the student ID. Create. So the relationship is created. Save the relation. Now we need to create a database form called student results to display the results for the select class. So we need to enter a class name and that class must be displayed here. So for that we have to create a query. Create a query. Add both fields. So we need to have an option to enter the class. That's why we are creating a query. We need to use a dynamic parameter to enter the class name. So I'll add the details which are needed for the form. We need student ID, given name, surname and class. So student ID, given name, surname and class. Then we need all the questions and the question, each question and the score, and also the total score. So for that we need to add all these fields except student ID. You can click on the table name. When you double click on the table name, all fields will be selected. Press Ctrl key and remove the student ID. Then you can just drag it here so that all the fields are added. So when you run this, you can see student name, class and all the questions and the score will be shown. Now we need to add a dynamic query so that the user can enter which class he requires. For that, I'll go to the design view. Under class, we have to enter the dynamic query. So whenever you are using a dynamic query, we need to start with a square bracket and then you can enter the message which the user needs to see. So here I'll write enter the class, and you need to close with a square bracket. So this is how you enter a dynamic query. So now when I run this, you will get the dialog box to enter the class. So when I'm entering FE1, for example, give OK, I'll get only the details of class FE1. So let's save the query. This is how we require it. Now we'll create the form from this query. So create form wizard. Make sure query 1 is selected here. Add all the fields. Click next. It must be columnar. Then next, what title do you want for your form? So the title is given as test 102 results for class. Results for class, and give a colon there. Click on finish. You will get this dialog box because we have given a dynamic query. Just enter the class name, any class name, so that we can see the design. So now this is how it looks. Go to the design view. We have to arrange it as given here. So first you can see on the title, the class name should be shown here near the title. Also class should be shown here also. So here the class is already shown. We have to show the class name here. For that I will add class name once more. So go to on the design, form design, you can see add existing field. From add existing field you can add the class. So just drag the class here. So the data as well as the field name will be shown. We don't want the field name. So just select only this. In order to select only this, click on the gray small box there, then just delete it. So the text, the label is gone. Now we have the data here. You can see the font size is large here according to this one. Let's change it. Here the font size is 20, so let's change this to 20. And it must be black, so the color is black. and it is bold also. Make it bold. Now if you look at the layout of the form, you can see the field names are shown in this way, black text, and also the data has a border, solid border here. So we need to arrange it. Let's make the form a little bit bigger so that we can arrange the field names. And let's drag these questions down. First, let's align it properly. Resize the field. So for given name and surname, I have resized it this way. Student ID also you can resize it. Class, we can make it smaller because it has only 3 characters. Let's give borders for this. Select this one. Go to format, shape outline. So set the color of the outline as black. And we can see it's little thicker, so we need to increase the width. So go to shape outline, line thickness, make it 2 point. Also the text is black, the field names is black, and this is also black, but with a bold font. So let's make everything black. It must be bold. The size we can set it as 2. So now the form looks like this. Now here you can see question till 13 are shown here, then from 14 and the score are shown on the second column. So we need to arrange it in that way, and there is a label called questions and question or marks. So let's add a label. This is a label. Question marks. It's bold, and the size is, let's keep it 40, and it's black. Now from question 1 to 13 will be in the first column. So let's align it in this way. Now question 14 and 15 to the top of second column. all of them have same width, so let's give same width for all the label as well as the data. So select all, you can go to width, let's give 1.5. Now let's align it properly. For that you can just select this, right click, select this, right click, you have align, layout, make it stacked so that it is arranged properly, same way. Select this, right click, layout, stacked. So it will give you a proper alignment. Now select this and you can just move it here. Now if you look at the formatting, you can see all the text are bold and black color, and the marks which are shown here have border like we did for student ID. So let's select all of them. It must be bold, black color, and I have increased the size, and now we need to give and let's set it as center aligned. Now we need to give border for this, so select only the data fields, and then we can go to format, shape outline, choose black color, and the thickness must be like this. So now let's see the form view. So it shows all the details here. We can increase the font size a little bit if needed. Now the pass mark for test 102 is 13 marks. Students who score 10, 11 or 12 marks may resit the test. Students who score less than 10 must retake the course. Amend the student results form to display the information like this. So we need to display a message like this. If the student has got 13 marks or more than that, we have to display the text pass. If it is 10, 11 or 12, we need to give resit test, and if it's less than 10, it should be retake course. So we need to add a field which will show these results. So go to the design view. We need to insert a formula. For that I'll add a text box here. Click on text box. Draw the text box here. So here I'll be entering the formula. So equals, I'm going to use if formula. If formula is given by IIF. If score. If score is greater than or equal to 13. The pass mark is 13. So if it's greater than or equal to 13, we have to display pass. Else, if it's less than 10, retake the course. And if it's between 13 and 10, that means 10, 11 or 12, resit the test. So we need to give the formula in that way. So I'll give if score less than 10. If it's less than 10, we have to give retake course. Else, so if it's greater than or equal to 13, pass. If it's less than 10, retake course. So between 13 and 10, it is resit test. So we just need to give the resit test. So since we have used two if conditions, we have to close two brackets. So let's check whether it's working. So this is the formula. If score greater than or equal to 13, we just need to type score. The square brackets and all will be set automatically by the system. Score greater than or equal to 13, we have to give pass. If it's less than 10, retake test, retake course, otherwise resit test. Let's check whether it's working. Go to the form view. So here you can see it's showing pass because the score is 25. Let's check for the next student. So since it's 12, which is less than 10 or 11, 10, 11 or 12 must be resit test, pass. So here the score is 2, so the message retake course is shown. So the formula is working. Now let's do the formatting. This is not needed here. So go to the design. Let's delete this. Now you can resize this. We need to make it bold and it's a bigger size. Let's give 80. So go to the form view. Yeah. We don't need to show the border here. So go to the design view, select this, go to format, make it transparent. Shape outline must be transparent. Now we need to show the pass. If it is pass, it must be shown in green font, and if it's other than pass, it must be red font. So let's do that. Right click, conditional formatting, click on new rule. If the field value is equal to pass, if it's equal to pass, we need to make it, the font color must be green. Okay, one more. If the field value is not equal to pass, it must be red. Okay, so if it's equal to pass, we'll give green color, otherwise it will be red. Okay, so let's see the form view now. So the pass is shown in green. Let's check the next record. This is shown in red color. So the conditional formatting is done. We can increase the font size a little more, and it must be bold. Now here the class name, we need not show the background and the outline. In our form it is being shown. So let's go to the design view, select this, format, shape fill, transparent, and shape outline also transparent. Let's check the form view now. So it's working. Let's save this. You can check for other classes. FE2, give OK. So it's showing the classes FE2. Here we need to resize the field because here you can see it's showing this way. So let's resize the field. Now it's working properly. For the next student, we can check it's pass, retake course, resit test. So this is the end of the database task. The other task will be soon uploaded, and you can find the link in the description. Thank you for now.